and all, welcome back to Bleach for the Eyes. That's right, what the bloody hell was that? Tell you what, Googling for that image was not fun. Little did I know they'd find a picture of myself. Oh, there we go. I have no idea who that was, but if they want to get in touch, please don't. Or in fact, yes you can. My name is my name is CCP Rouge at CCP Games. I'm kidding. Anyway, let's play some games. Now, interesting times. An acquisition happened. And I shot myself like a complete noob. This is one of those games. Now, I bet you can't bet who's going to win this one. Well, you can bet, but you're not going to guess who's going to win. We're playing a group of dudes who, I think it's fair to say, are a bit good. And I think you're probably going to find that we get stomped. Or do we? Ooh. Anyway, so let's talk about Dust. Now, interesting stuff going on in the game. Lots of people throwing away officer gear, lots of people just cashing in. Interesting stuff with the Division being out is I imagine a lot of people are obviously moving to that. We are also playing the Division, so hit me up if you're playing it. I'd love to have some games with you and shoot you in the back and steal your precious things. But definitely interested to see really where this game is going now. I don't really kind of feel there's much of a critical mass, if that's the right word, left playing a game. Although admittedly it's been easier to get games lately, so I assume maybe it's just, I don't know, matchmaking's changed a little bit, but I have noticed it's that little bit easier to get into matches. So there we go. But I must say, I've been having a blast playing it. And I had an interesting mail come in, which was basically accusing me with many misspelled insults that I apparently don't effing like the effing game anymore, because all I effing do is they didn't use the word effing, by the way. It was a much ruder word. All I effing do is effing this and effing that and effing Jeff and effing F. And this is because I use this kind of plasma cannon flaylock fit. And they're like, try a proper gun, you effing this. Try and do like a proper thing, effing this. And what I can only imagine then is they kind of had some kind of aneurysm, because it was then just like mashed buttons finishing off the email. So, you know, I kind of was like, well, I felt honoured that that person had taken time out of their busy schedule to contact me. All I could say is bollocks. I love this fit and I'm going to keep running it. I think it's because you have to run something that you get a bit of enjoyment from. Sorry, I'm playing a game here. Am I supposed to be kind of entertaining you or something? Is this some sort of YouTube channel where you come and basically I entertain you? Oh, it is. That's right. Yeah, it is. That's a fair point. But I don't know. Look at that. That guy's in an officer suit. Oh my God. And he's a bloody good grenader as well. So I do apologise if you are not enjoying. Well, look, it's frames. If you're not enjoying our plasma cannon flaylock footage, then please, by all means, propose another fit. I am more than happy to try something else, and I will just share with you something I did try. I actually tried logistical suit and mass driver, and that wasn't bad. It was pretty good. We played, you know, the meat grinder map. You know the one I mean. You know the one I mean. Played that one and got owned pretty much. So, you know, you needed that logi kind of support. So, you know, it was fun. It was all right. Basically, all I was doing is I put a lead on Stefan and basically just, you know, kind of, you know, walked him around the map a bit on all fours, making him look pretty for me. And then we played some Dust 514. But there we go. I do think there's so much fun to be had in the game at the moment, and I do hope you are playing Brothers, because I'm trying to melee as much as possible now, just because I feel like I owe it to you that I should be showing melees. Do you know what the word melee means? No, nor do I, but it's a French word, and apparently it means open-palmed, violent confrontation, or something like that, but there we go. Still, I must admit, there's so many more fits I should be trying, I know. All of those officer guns, for example, you know, and they do look and sound pretty cool. Obviously, you can have pink suits now, I'm told, as well. But I think the problem is just part of me doesn't really give a shit, to be honest with you. You play a game because you want to have a bit of fun. Like here, for example, let's go and show some Juno tanking. And this is just an obvious troll about to be delivered, obviously. So, you know, get ready for it. Juno is probably the best tanker in this game I have ever seen. I'll let that settle in for a moment. There's a reason why I'm doing that. It's because I'm trying to bait other tankers back to the game for at least for one more time. So Del Boy, Evo, Judge, people like this. It would be lovely to get these dudes back in the game just once. I think we're going to have to arrange it, aren't we? I think we're going to have to give that a go. But I'm enjoying the tanks. I have to admit, I've had a real blast playing with tanks lately. Hopefully you enjoyed our tank montage. Sorry there wasn't much of it, to be honest, because awful lot of time you call in a tank and the enemy doesn't bother. It used to be, back in the day, that people would call in tanks and there'd be a great big fisticuffs from both sides, and it was actually pretty cool because you'd get a really good fight out of it. But sadly not anymore. It just feels that every so often you get somebody do bring that kind of tank game, but it's getting pretty rare nowadays. But there we go. Post in the comments. Am I right on that? Does it feel like many people tank anymore? Just doesn't really anymore, does it? There we go. Must admit, this acquisition has turned around, don't you think? Who's going to win now, bro? I couldn't call it. I could not call it at all. But as we slay dudes and just keep shooting dudes, we have fun. There we go. Anyway, so in terms of what's going on in other games, obviously, as I've mentioned, we're playing The Division, so come join us, bro. There's a gang of us playing it. I'm guessing at this point, because it's actually still the Sunday before, and I haven't even bought my PS4 yet. I'm about to nip out to the shops and buy it now. But, yeah, I think, I don't want to, if I'm honest. I would rather have played this game on PC. Because it's just so much easier to do everything on PC. And I want to propose a little concept for you, so post in the comments if you agree with this, because I think playing a game on console makes the game feel a bit more important. It makes it feel a bit more substantial. And let me give you an example of this. When I play stuff like Space Engineers and Elite and Factorio and things like that, is that there is a lot of fun playing the game, but there isn't that kind of feeling of weight like there is when you play on a console. Do you know what I mean? So I can't really quantify it any more than that. I think maybe it's just the way that they're designed. You have a controller in your hands. Maybe that gives you that feeling of it being a bit more weighty and a bit more substantial. I could be talking absolute flibber flabber jim jam, but I don't know. Part of me just feel that when you play a console game with a controller, etc., there is something nice about that it does feel pretty good. And I'll give you another example that playing a PC game means you've got to do it at a desk. So I actually have in my house 2 offices, which sounds a decadence, and it kind of is. But I have my gaming office, and where the magic happens, ladies, and I then have my work office where I go and work because I work from home every so often. And I think having those office-based things is cool, but I would say having a game that you can play in your front room is an incredible luxury for me. And I really do love playing games sat down on my sofa or on my big telly. And I must admit, it's such a rarity now. I mean, I even have a Steam Link, so I can play games on that. But I find that for me, it's funny because gaming for me has always been something I do sitting down at a desk, looking at a monitor, hunched forward, playing on a keyboard. And it's so strange. I mean, I even played Dust that way. So you guys probably play sitting on your sofas and having a bit of a relax. I sit it kind of hunched up, leant forward, which is bollocks. It really is. Oh, look at that guy shooting me. That's a bit aggressive, wasn't it? What was that about? Who knows? I'm being teabagged. I can feel it. There's a weight on my chest and I can feel it. Anyway, so, definitely interested to hear comments on that. Do you guys, how do you play it? You play it, in your rooms? Do you play it in your front rooms, your back rooms? Do you have a snug or something like that? I do find that just having a game that you can play from your sofa is enjoyable. And I'll tell you the last game I played that way was Destiny on PS3, because I had it plugged into my TV and I did enjoy. I felt it for that split moment. I felt the joy of gaming on a sofa. I did feel it. But then the problem came, I couldn't record. However, that has now all changed because I now, on my desktop, my kind of gaming office desktop, I actually now have an Alienware laptop. I don't use a desktop anymore. So I actually could just sit my computer beside me on the couch, plugged into some form of capture device, and then everybody's happy. So you see where we're going on this. For me, I feel that that's probably the better way to do it. I know The Division would have been amazing on PC, and I know it will be cool on PC. But for me, you need that community feeling, and I think there's more people that certainly I know playing on PS4 than on PC. So that's kind of why my decision has arrived at this point. So there we go. I don't know. Obviously, it's kind of a move away. It's not enough just to buy a console for one game, because I did that for Dust, and to be fair, it's worked out quite well, because the PS3's had its day now, and it's kind of ending, and this game's also ending, so it kind of works for me. But what I would say is there is another reason why I want to get PS4, which is because I want to play No Man's Sky, and that's out in June this year. So, already that's one game that I'm going to be all over as well, and I know it's probably not going to be as good as people think it is, but I don't care. I think I just like, oh my god, did you see that shot? I just like what the game represents. So for me, I think I'm going to be all over that game as well. So there we go. Again, just having the PS4 just makes sense, because you've just got that easier access to a community, I guess. And I think, I do know loads of people who play on PC and have me on Steam and all this, but for Steam, it just feels as if there's less of a community. So there we go. Interesting stuff. Now, I am excited about No Man's Sky, and obviously it's coming out on PS4 first. So again, it just feels the right thing to do. So that's it. My decision has been made. I am a decisive man, and as soon as my mind is made up, things happen, which sounds a bit rapey, but there we go. So, join us on PS4. If you are on PS4, then, find me or whatever you do. I'm assuming you just carry your PSN over. And again, by the time this video is out, probably I'm well into The Division and so on. So there we go. So there we go. I honestly do feel that this is like a chapter closing. Dust is feeling like a kind of ending game, if you like, and I feel that there is a book, a great big dusty tome or a ledger somewhere in the annals of CCP being closed, and on it written in slightly faded gold embossed letters is Dust 514. And that's sad. It does make me feel a little bit unhappy, because when I jump around and shoot dudes and do all this, I do have such fun, and I do miss the camaraderie of this game. When you see how people play PC, and when you see how seriously some people take that kind of land grab, it is a joy to behold. And I think CCP did a lot right with this game, and I know so many people in comments are just shit talking about how this game was terrible. If you're, what was the one I saw? You're a retard if you think this game was any good. And it's like, it's a bit harsh. I think, to be honest, the game is good. And it's probably one of the best games on the PS3 that's still going, let's be honest. But it always was missing that je ne sais quoi, that last little addition, or the accoutrement that would just make the thing, world class. And it wasn't anything CCP could do or not do. It was, they did their best, and they produced a game with quite a loyal base, and they produced something relatively fun. And I would say that there's not many games out there that I can play that give me this feeling of Quake 3, Team Arena, Doom 2, that kind of, real visceral kind of insta-jib, insta-based kind of, kill you blang. I do think that they have done a pretty good job of that. And I know a lot of people love to hate CCP, but I'm not one of them. I think actually they've done a pretty good job. So there we go. Sad times. Post in the comments, tell me what you think. Post in the comments or message me if you're playing Destiny. Come play, brothers, come play. And let's continue on the journey of New York. Doesn't really work, does it? But let's go and see what happens, and I think we're going to have some fun. I think even if just the worst comes to the worst, it's another thing to do until the new version of Dust comes out, and then at least it's it's where we go. Also, just subscribe. Obviously, that's a key thing to do. We are going to keep abreast of all the Dust news as well. So stick around, because we're not going anywhere. Hope you enjoyed that. See you next time.